I could go back in time and tell myself these things, I would be pretty unstoppable. Maybe the Queen of England. But alas, I can't do that. So hopefully I can help out some other young people or people of any ages. But really, this is for the girlies, and this is advice from an elder 20 to a younger 20. And obviously, if you're not a girl, you can still take this advice. I'm just thinking about this through the perspective of younger Madison. So, with that in mind, this is what you should do right now. Number one, don't worry about making so much money. Yes, make money, but you don't need to go after a $100K job. Listen, money is money, and if I could be making $100K, that would be amazing. But in my young 20s, that should be time reserved for adventure, traveling, and trying everything, not putting your nose on the grinder of something that you could hop into at any moment. I understand entry jobs and all that stuff, but like you can start later in your later 20s. But in your early 20s, let's see stuff. Let's experience, let's become a well-rounded human being and then do the workforce. Because listen, I'm saying this because I see people now in their later 20s, my friends and other acquaintances who just hit the ground running, went after the corporate job, got that high rent apartment, and just lived like they were 35. I'm assuming that's what they wanted, but at the same time, I don't think they understand that they were signing up for a gilded cage, and they have no perception what it means to not have money. So when opportunities present themselves to travel or take this risky business or like to start up, do something that they want to do, but it's not based out of sure money, their heart's in it, but the rest of their whole life and their body and whatever nervous system is out, and they're set in their ways because they signed up at a young age and this is all they knew. And I'm not saying this is everyone, this is like 9 times out of 10, but I'm seeing friends alongside myself who now are making money. And quite frankly, I've caught up to my friends who are doing corporate life from the jump. I don't let money moves dictate my moves. And obviously, I don't have what they have, but I'm able to execute my artistic desires and make that eventually work for me business-wise, rather than being like, well, I can't really do that because, I have to do the safe and sure route. Again, to each their own, but I just wish I had some type of, pat on the back of like, what you're doing will work out. You don't have to worry about making so much money all right now. Number 2, I want you guys to have fun, right? Have all the fun in the world. But there's a certain degree that you have to understand that marriage is marketing. Think about it. The movies that we grew up with, what was the end goal for the girl characters? To get the boyfriend, to get married. Bam. After that, roll credits, movie's over. I don't know. She got the man. That's all that matters. And what I'm not saying is that marriage is bad and no young person should get married. If you find your person, congrats. I wish I found my person. But I'm not going to get into a relationship just because I feel like I'm missing out. I'm not going to get in a relationship just because I'm like, oh, this guy works. I want to get into a relationship because he's my best friend and I'm his best friend. And he sees me as a person, not a maid. I see him as my partner in life, not someone who just gives me money. I think for the longest time, like probably up till a few years ago, I thought this, that dying alone was the most saddest thing ever. Like whenever I heard someone else like, oh, so-and-so, they died alone, they didn't have a whatever, I'm like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing. Wrong. You know what's embarrassing? Dying with someone who hates you. Dying with someone that you cannot stand. That's more embarrassing. I do not want to waste my life with someone that I just rushed into marriage in my 20s because I was like, well, my time's running out. I better snag one while I can, while the good ones still remain. Oh gosh, don't even get me started about the good ones, because what does that say about me? I'm bad? Is there something socially wrong with me? Probably. But you know what? I met some difficult people beforehand and they're married. Am I too nice? But just don't worry about relationships because the right ones will come. Do not force it. Do not force it. That never works. It might work for a little bit, but as we've seen with Justin and Hailey Bieber, no, you don't want that. Number 3, this is controversial, and I think I said it wrong when I was talking about it over on TikTok, but your looks really do matter. I don't mean societal norms. I don't mean looking like everyone else. We do not like that. I mean like put effort into the clothes that you wear. Number 2, hygiene. Take a bath, wash your teeth. Wash? Brush. Put your teeth in a tub. Be healthy. To some people, being healthy is losing weight. To other people, being healthy is gaining weight. Weight doesn't matter. For me personally, I was really depressed during COVID. I let myself go. I treated my body like a garbage can. And so when I shared this story before, I was just talking about, losing weight. And that got taken the wrong way. And I apologize. That was really my bad because in my journey, I experienced as soon as I started eating right and I started moving. I went from sitting all day to moving routinely throughout the day. And I started losing weight that way. So that's my journey. But you cannot cheat being healthy. Your skin will not lie, The whites of your eyes will not lie, and your hair will not lie. There's no fast track to being healthy. It might be fast track to the results, but that's not being healthy. So you can't, instead of doing one or the other, just do them both at the same time. Because once I started actually putting my best foot forward, I started getting a lot of opportunities, and whatever price I asked for people in business, I was given that price, like in freelancing. And I really do think it's a combination of how people perceive me and also the confidence that came from knowing that I looked my best. Again, I don't mean being like everyone else, because no one likes the way that everyone has Instagram face. That's boring. Be you. Do not get body modifications in order to like fit in. Oh my gosh. I think the tide is turning on like that being trendy. You are so much more good looking than you think you are. Okay? And that really does start from within. Which side point, you do have to master your mind a little bit. Now through preschool, through high school, I was just letting it rip. Any thought I had, I said it. I was very quick with my mouth, not with my brain. But the moment I started to get into Robert Greene and all these other self-help books, the first self-help book I read was You Are a Badass. Life changed. And then when I got depressed, the two books that got me out of it, they were they went hand in hand, was first Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth, and then The Untethered Soul. A New Earth was like the gateway drug, and then The Untethered Soul hit my brain like an ice pick on a little cube. It went swing! I'm free! I'm free! And I wish I had that sooner, because I wasted like a whole year in this breakup depression. But what can you do? It's a rite of passage, I guess. I became who I am because of that. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Next, just don't buy any influencer anything. Any courses, any whatever. I got this one girl, God bless her. I'm sure she helped other people. Did not help me. This one influencer, she built my resume for $400? For $400? Before I knew AI was a thing? Back in like 2021? What would I be doing with that $400 now? I don't know. Probably bought another course. It's just her email marketing got to me. And then I bought this other influencer course. Waste of time. Everything that I learned, I could have learned online. Don't do it. Any other course, the person got to where they were because of many things that they cannot teach. That's the reality. They just want your money. Figure it out for yourself. This is what I am currently trying to master. But your intuition is your compass. For example, I cannot be bothered to open LinkedIn. As soon as I open it, I have 5 minutes before my body fully shuts down and I'm like a bear in hibernation. I'm like, oof, I'm gonna have to lay down. Like a Victorian woman having a spell. But I could do one out of two things. I could trudge through it and just shake it off and be like, oh, whatever, everyone feels this way. You still have to do it because this is the way the world works. Or two, I could go, methinks this is a sign. I'm going to look other places. I'm gonna stop. And do what makes me feel alive and not like I want to lie down. For the last, 8 years, I've been doing that first one. I was like, everyone feels this way. I just have to trudge through it. I do it, Madison, you little wuss. This is the course of my life. I can't be mad about it. But if I was to just follow my intuition, where would I be? Who would I know? What would I have done? I would say to a great extent, I have followed my intuition. But when it comes to letting myself fully be an artist, not like I'm an artist, and I'm in corporate. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh my gosh, a lot of people have to make their money that way, and that's a legit way. And actually, it makes a whole lot of money. There's a reason why people do it, right? But for me, it's not working anymore. It's like the world is performing an exorcism on me every single time I open that gosh darn app. And I'm reading this book right now called Mastery by Robert Greene. And he talks about this concept too of like, you need to follow your intuition. Because that is God-given, that is placed in you. And you will go so much further. Like the whole book gives examples of all these masters who just followed their obsession. And they would not be where they were if they were like, I just gotta get a job. I just gotta get a job. Forget all this stuff. Forget all my inclinations. Or like, I'm just gonna do this maybe like once a week, once a year. Do what you're obsessed with. And if you don't know what you're obsessed with, put down the phone. You will know as soon as you let yourself get bored. You need a little detachment. I'm speaking from the choir. Follow your intuition. Your intuition is your compass. And everyone has a different compass. Also, you have to let all elements of your life flow. I know you want to hold on to that person, but there's a reason why they actually need to leave your life. You're not going to know immediately. It might take you a year, and then you look them up on Facebook and you go, oh, that's why. That's why we kind of fell off. Or maybe it's not going to be so obvious why that person dropped off the face of the planet on your planet. But there's a reason, and you just have to respect it. It is making room for another person to come into your life, or for you to let go of that certain time of your past and move forward. Same thing with self-expectations. For example, I thought I was going to do theater all my life. I told myself, and this is true, obviously, that I cannot do an office job. I can't. I'm not meant for the office. Dude, I still can't spell certain words. I have a form of dyslexia and also a speech impediment. All great things that the workforce needs. But when I realized there was so much more exciting and fulfilling and creatively intriguing world outside of theater, I had two options, and they were both very scary. One, I ignore everything I saw because I went on a solo trip to Paris and I was like, whoa, the world! So when I came back, I was like, okay, I can ignore every single thing I just felt and experienced and just, stop thinking about that and go back to the way things were and the way my life was. Or I can leave. I don't like memorizing lines. I have to do this for the rest of my life? Let's be so serious. I don't want to do that. But I did want to give it a good college try out of college. So I did it for a year and then COVID happened and I was like, okay, I'm no thank you. The actual giving up of pursuing theater didn't hurt. The mental giving up of theater, whoa, hubba, that hurt like a horse. And it wasn't for anything else but because my whole identity and personality was firmly rooted in this, that to let it go was like, that was like the closest thing I've ever experienced to like real heartbreak at the time. But again, your intuition is your compass. As soon as you know something, do it. Do it. You can delay it, but I promise you that little voice does not go away. You can waterboard it with more money, from your career. That thing that you want to do will always be there. In fact, I don't know if you guys know her. I love her personally. Sorelle Amore is a famous YouTuber on here, and she recently put out a video that I watched yesterday. Now she's in her mid-30s, but she always had this dream of being a musician, and she just did not do it. And now she's in her 30s. She said she didn't want to, but she said she still has that desire, that dream to be a musician, but she feels like she can't do it anymore. But that's like an example of that little voice of what you want to do, like your little intuition gremlin will always be there. So you just better give him a good shot. Give him your time of day and see what happens, because you just could be the next master that Robert Greene will be talking about in his next book. Who's to say? I'm going to end with a quick little speed run. Number 1, gossiping never looks good on people. Ever. Number 2, track your cycle. It is time. Track your cycle. Number 3, remember, to have good friends, you need to be a good friend. It all starts with you. Don't be pointing, be like, well, they didn't do that. They didn't. No. The only thing you should be keeping track of is you. Be a good friend. Number 4, less talking, more actions, please. No one wants to hear it if you haven't done it. And number 5, please wear sunscreen. Please don't forget to share with the class what you wish you could tell your younger self down in the comments, because there's definitely things I'm missing. These are just like the top things I wish I could take myself by the shoulders and go, come on, snap out of it. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.